the flexibility. I mean, in general, locums, the flexibility. And that's nice because you're not tied into necessarily a group where you are, let's say, one or of a half a dozen docs that has to fill the schedule. And if there's holes in the schedule, you are required to fill those holes. And I think with global medical, I would take shifts. I would certainly try to work my fair share of weekends, for instance, but it was never something that I had to work all weekends and fill in the weekend shifts, or other docs didn't. And I thought that was very, very fair. And the flexibility of just having shifts be available and working a lot in a short period of time, or working just a few shifts that would be a bit more sporadic and throughout a month. And that scheduling for me was different, and it was very much attractive. I feel I'm working elsewhere than I was so used to working in locked-in physician, private physician groups, ER groups, where there were partnerships and there was expectations, and there was hoops that you needed to jump through because of that contract, let's say, that we'd have with that hospital. And as a physician, you had to make sure you were a part of that commitment to that hospital. And, when it takes 13 to 15 shifts a month full time, you are kind of locked in. And I feel, and again, I guess one thing I would like to say, for me, it worked out doing this part-time because I've had a lot of ER work full-time behind me. But I must admit, I have met some docs along the way too, working in some of my other locum stints. And there are, physicians that, many times will work part-time with a group, and they'll not completely work with that group and lock themselves in, and they're able to do some part-time work elsewhere. So you don't have to wait till you're maybe getting towards the end of your career. I'd like to say that I think a really good connection, like global medical staffing, would be something that I think a lot of docs, particularly in the ER, can jump on. The main thing is they kind of like to know, and I've met quite a few locum docs from other agencies working with global medical, and you compare notes and you find out where they've worked and why they've chosen to come on board with an agency. And I think a lot of them, like me, look at something that is something above and beyond just being locked into a group in a hospital, and going to meetings and ER meetings and management meetings and staff meetings and all those things. And working with global medical, a lot of that quote, busy work that goes along with being tied to a physician group. With me now and my connection with locums, those things are few and far between. There's of course some meetings that you take in online, and there's a lot more work based on the email correspondence and things like that. But it can be done at home, and it can be done quite easily. And it's just different than having that responsibility to a group and a hospital. And the expectation is that, you are doing it. You have to do it with the rest of the docs. No one else is going to do it. You have a contract that you're responsible for, which is exclusive, and you don't have the options. To me, that's probably the biggest thing about locums work. And again, I stumbled upon this in my later clinical years, but I can see in talking to these other other locum docs, they're doing it at a younger year. And if I had to do it all over again, I wish I would have developed that relationship earlier on, because I would have done this years earlier, to be very honest with you. I can tell you, working ER more than 30 years, there's great opportunities out there, and the patients are great, and various, staff, the nursing are great. The more you do it, and the more years I do it, I realize there's, so many opportunities and so many roles that you could clinically get involved with, and professionally feel like you are an ER physician making an impact, in particular in an area of a different culture conceivably. I mean, that is just refreshing. And I think more and more docs ought to be able to do that. And I think they can do that if they have someone to help them along and make it as seamless as possible. And that's been my experience with you and Global Medical.